the Thorned Rose, the Phantom Execution, when you're going to be going out of the map to avoid abilities. Because once you can do that, this Lancelot has a good chance of being able to completely disrupt the backline of Fantasma.
And that is what we have to look forward to here. 30 Gaming is going to be fielding that Lancelot, and we'll be able to just farm up the purple without any problems. Xborg's already just on the orange, not able to finish it up just yet. But there is a big presence here on the bottom lane by Geo, and the Gaming just try to pressure Omayuri away from pushing out the lane. Small fight here for the Lethal Wanderer. They're going to try to save it for themselves, but it's going to be secured by Binasic.
Yeah, and what the rotation that Jaemon did, that's because of the adjustment to the level requirements to hitting level 2. So roamers, tanks, especially if you have the roaming item, can easily reach level 2 now compared to before. The values to reach level 3 from level 2 is a little bit higher now, but it's still slightly the same XP. So that's why Jaemon started there. Oh, Honda Beast though from out of nowhere.
Just started to win that duel against the Jawhead, but you did not expect that Honda Beast coming from your back lines itself. Now, with that being said, that is going to be an easy kill for Binasic, and Geomon has nobody to support here. There goes the perfect execution. Thorn Rose, Geomon still pretty much alive and still manages to survive by the skin of his teeth.
And the good thing about the rotation of Binasic is that this opens up a better presence and positioning for Honda Beast in the Turtle Pit. So Binasic, or rather Fantasma Kalidad, might have an easier time being able to take this away. But looking at the presence of Binasic, yeah, they acknowledge that. That's why they have a much better presence here around the turtle. But Jaemon still needs to reposition himself.
Guys, ejection, they're taking Jaemon as well. As with the Divine Judgment locks down that kill. And now this turtle is going to be defaulted towards the side of Binasic unless D Gaming has other plans in store. We are seeing Sarah repositioning herself towards the turtle, but there is no way that they can contest this.
D Gaming can try his absolute best, but at that point, just give the turtle to Binasic and see a very little thing happen. Honda Beast was able to pick off Jaemon up top, and that just gave a lot of confidence to Binasic to being able to, because they know Jaemon couldn't position himself well enough in time.
Here goes the top of force to the ejection. Honda Beast once again ganking from behind enemy lines even. He trades his life for that turret, but that's still a kill going to the hands of Changgu. Much needed.
Yeah, that's a sacrifice you're willing to take if you're Honda Beast. You're gonna delay the farm of the Hayabusa a little bit more and give more breathing room for Changgu to quickly get his items. As a Lunox, you want to be able to hit that mid-level spike as quickly as possible. Get your Clock of Destiny, which he is just I believe 500 gold or roughly 500 gold away from being able to build it.
There is a big presence here in the top lane. The ejection and the Divine Judgment onto Jaemon. He will fall down. Sarah next in line for them. The Ring of Order is going to dish out a fair amount of damage. Perfect execution into the Thorn Rose just to make sure he's alive under that turret. 0 for 2 trade in the top lane.
The target juggling and focusing of Binasic is just absolute class right now. And this is the problem that you have with a lineup that has a not typical tank choice in the Poppling Koopa, because he didn't have a good early game. He's just easily getting picked off here against a Jordan Kaja, really difficult to recover from. And Wrecker himself as well will have a ring from this. That's 3 deaths already 4 minutes in.
That's already not looking good for Wrecker. He is one of the late game insurances here for Fantasma Kalidad. Like, as soon as he hits his item spikes and his level spikes as well, he'll be a big factor in the next coming team fights. But with him being delayed so bad, there's nowhere to go. Speaking of nowhere to go, that's Sarah with that Divine Judgment connection by Pain.
Man, the combination of Pain and Honda Beast right now, how they're targeting the members of Fantasma Kalidad, chain their crowd control together, it's almost always a sure pick-off. And at this point, Binasic have just snowballed as quickly as they hoped that they would, because they have the Lancelot with them. And considering that this is a Kaja you're up against, we rarely see the Kaja, but the Kaja damage is quite good as well. If you allow Pain to farm up, that's what we're about to see in the next 3 minutes, the Kaja damage is going to start to become a big problem for Fantasma Kalidad.
And Pain's gonna be having a good time at 0, 0, and 4. He's getting assists. But as I say that, Tengzi can be going into the fight later on. As soon as he maxes out the stats in the stacks in the jungle camps and then go in for a fight, he may just be a nuisance here.
But then again as well for Tengzi Gaming, yeah, he's already able to build up his War Axe, but it's still gonna take quite some time for Fantasma to get back. It's this they can though, but one Tengzi has to watch out for here is when he uses his last insanity, Where is Pain? Because once that last insanity is gone, he's gonna be incredibly vulnerable to getting Divine Judgment in the way.
And that's already the Feraga armor being bursted out just by 30 Gaming. It's not going to be likely that we're going to be seeing big skirmishes here, and Tengzi has to play it safe until he gets a Feraga armor, gets the ejection onto Sarah. Fire missiles will be thrown out and will be zoned out by Sarah as well. Perfect execution to run away 30 Gaming. That is a complete disengage.
Level 9 right now, it says Lancelot compared to the level 8 X-Borg. Not that far in terms of the goal, so he can still come back into this. But then how is the rest of Fantasma Kalidad doing? Well, not so good. But right now, D, he can continue to hold on and he can start becoming the big tanky presence for Binasic, for Fantasma Kalidad. Maybe around once the gold of Fantasma reaches around 18,000. Oh, but before that, though, Sarah picked off.
Yeah, it was the ejection and a Divine Judgment combo from Honda and Painflix that secured that kill onto Sarah and zoned out Tengzi as well. That is a beauty. As I say that, that's also a kill in the top lane onto Wrecker as well as the turret conversion. Binasic is slowly securing their game here.
Yeah, and Binasic still playing in the high level that they showed off in the first day of the Creator Games. And everything is just going their way right now. Their rotations, how they're moving together as a squad, especially the three of 30, Honda Beast, and Painflix, really set the tempo well for Binasic early on. And they just, it seems difficult right now at this point to just stop this momentum. Again, not impossible, but they're just so sharp right now in their movements, in their targeting, who they're picking off. That Fantasma Kalidad, you see that they're trying to play carefully, Nomad. They're trying to farm under tower, but with this rotation down bot, it could be another pick off.
Divine Judgment is available. Who's the target here for Painflix? Oh. It was Sarah, but it doesn't matter. They're still going to get taken out. Changu joins in on the fray. Painflix falls down. D-Gaming still relatively healthy after that engagement. But here comes in the backline, though. 30 Gaming with a Thorn Rose, but still manages to just back off.
Too much damage, man. That was one Thorn Rose. That's Sarah. It just took her down. I think it was like 70 to 75% of her health immediately gone. No surprise, that was a level 11 Lancelot at that point against a level 8 Eve. And little by little, I'm starting to see this comeback for Fantasma Kalidad getting closer to impossible as 30 is now godlike.
Godlike and sitting at 7-0 and 2. No deaths on this Lancelot. We're seeing the different class that these guys have. But there is still a comeback window. You mentioned that earlier on, but what is that comeback window for Fantasma Kalidad?
It would have to be a counterplay. A big counterplay engagement by Fantasma Kalidad they do have. But it's just so hard to do right now. They're trying.
Oh no, Tengzi dives in with the Divine Judgment, not the Divine Judgment, with the last Insanity, but he will pay the price for that. His mortality is going to be popped. He's still going to be taken care of. D will gobble up a member of Binasic, but it's still not surmounting too much. Wrecker is going to try to go for a kill. Not the wisest choice here for Fantasma Kalidad. That they traded 3 members for nothing there in that fight.
And again, I was mentioning earlier about the counter engage because they have the X-Board, because they have the E. That's their potential. Wherein Binasic would take a fight, they would miss their abilities, and then Fantasma Kalidad have a shot of taking down 1, maybe even 2, if they get lucky before they have to retreat, before they can give away any other kill. But with this massive gold lead now that Binasic has, the chances of that happening are getting less and less, because even with the damage that Fantasma Kalidad can throw off, it's not going to be enough, because Basic point, their Ruby, they're built enough sustain items, or getting close to building enough sustain items to really just midage of Fantasma Kalidad can bring out in that counterplay. So yeah, again at this point, allowing the side lanes to get pushed deeply as the Wrecker might get picked off here.
That's not a might. He is going to get picked off. That is the shadow kill being used up just to try to delay the impossible. But they do trade down Pain for that. It's a side lane for a roaming setter that Fantasma Kalidad wants to have him. There's still the threat of Honda Beast with the ejection, though. He has a flicker available just now. We might see a flicker ejection play from him.
I think we might just see now Nomad hunting for the target.
He is. Does also have the Unstoppable Force available. Real world manipulation is going to be thrown down. Damage output is still not quite there from Fantasma Kalidad, but he still managed to take down Oh My Yuri and the Lord as well, not really chipping out the inhibitor turret in the top lane.
Yeah, and that's what we're talking about here, the counterplay possibility of Fantasma Kalidad. That was more of an error on the side of Oh My Yuri. I think a bit of a miscommunication with Binasic because she was able to pull off actually a fantastic set, getting the pulse in, but at that point the members of Binasic were already on their way back. So a bit of a miscommunication coming in from Binasic. They have to minimize that if they want to continue this lead, because if Fantasma Kalidad get 2 or 3 more pickoffs like that without losing a member, little by little, Binasic is going to start feeling it's going to be hard to come back.
And this is the things that you have to prevent. Tengzi face checking that brush, gets Divine Judgment and ejected. D's going to go ahead and gobble up 30 Gaming, and it's zoning him out very effectively. He's already low HP. He's not going to be rejoining the fray just yet. And the members of Fantasma Kalidad are grouping up together. Tengzi's just going to be going in and refreshing. The Wrecker went for the shadow kill and the quad shadow out, just dishing out damage, and he made it out.
Really close call. Therefore, both teams, Binasic could have turned around and decided to fight Fantasma Kalidad. But then again, they're showing respect for the capability of Fantasma to potentially still come back into this. Again, yes, it's close to impossible, but that's still close. It's not completely impossible. Plus, it's Mobile Legends, man. There's always a way for you to make a comeback. And especially as the game drags on, comebacks can prove to be incredibly...
Yeah, we know about the long respawn timers. As soon as we hit the 20-minute mark, that's something that I think Fantasma Kalidad is trying to wait for. As the Shadow Mats will be popped and the Divine Judgment Ejector, well, they'll take down Sarah, and that's already a brunt of the slows and the damages that Fantasma Kalidad wants, and that's already the brunt of the members of Fantasma Kalidad out of the fray. Tengzi and Jeomon, the only ones left alive here, trying to defend against a 5-man presence of Binasic in front of their base. Flicker into the ejection. That's it. This has to be the game. The Divine Judgment will be used up as well. Immortality is going to be popped, and there's no way that Tengzi is going to be able to survive this. This has to be the game. With no minions are pushing in as much, but they can end this from just this cannon minion.
They can. Sarah, though, is going to get interrupted. Look at Honda Beast, not even using the ejector at that point. That was just the damage from the missiles. Yeah, but Ace can just wreak havoc here.
That's also the ejection. Once again, they're trying to defend, trying to delay the inevitable, and this is game number 1 for Binasic in this best-of-3 series.
Yeah, Fantasma Kalidad still trying to fight and hold on though, but yeah, at this point, as Binasic already have a 14k gold lead prior to 15 minutes, that's game number 1 going to Binasic in one of the sharpest games that we've seen.